Well, good afternoon, everybody. It is April 25th, which is day 406, the 15-day lockdown to flatten the curve, to save the hospitals, to stop the spread, and so on and so forth. So this is why I'm not taking Miracle Jab. And I know we're going to go over a few things here that are important. And we're going to go over some of the misinformation, and there's a lot of it. So let's just kind of get the background initial thing out of the way. How do I get COVID? How do I die of COVID? That's a very good question. Well, there's a certain route to that. One is go to the hospital, go to the nursing home, or live with a healthcare worker. That's step one. That's going to set you on the path to get COVID, which none of the restrictions stop you from getting anyway. Step two is be over life expectancy, which is 78.6 years. Step three is to be vitamin D deficient. Step four is be obese. And step five is watch mainstream media religiously. There may not seem to be a connection there, but the reason there is a connection is it is one hell of a cortisol dump. It'll get you in a stressful state. You'll be soon enough terrorizing your friends, your family, your neighbors, and life's just going to be miserable and bad health effects will be maximized. That's how you get COVID and die of COVID. So none of those things apply to me. So I'm great. So what am I looking at? Well, I've got a risk. There's inherent risks to all vaccines, which are elective procedures. So my background, I'm none of those things I just mentioned, plus I had COVID before it was cool. So that's the thing. If you got it, you can make the reasonable assumption there's some immunity that's conferred from getting it. So this is the thing. If I take Miracle Jab, let's just say I decide I'm wrong, I want to go out and get it. I can always make that decision later. So the thing is, if I get hurt by the vaccine, no one's going to pay me for it, and you can't untake it. So you're basically dealing with a product you can't untake. You can't go back and change your mind later. So it's in your arm, it ain't coming out. So here's the thing. There were a lot of, to put it bluntly, lies that have been told by the people pushing this, and they are such that I can't reconcile supporting the products. And there are many. There's not one. There's a few of them out there. One is they lied about immunity, like just plain straight up. They lied and they insisted, and they certainly implied it where they didn't expressly state it, that no one has any immunity to this thing. That's not true. We knew at least half the population had some inherent immunity of some kind for some reason or set of reasons. And that was half the population. We saw it in the cruise ships. We saw it throughout, all the lockdown states. I mean, gosh, at what point do you go, a lot of people are just inherently immune to this thing. It's not like nobody has immunity. All the models that they pushed to sell the lockdowns, to sell the restrictions, to sell the screaming, all of it, no holds barred, was predicated on the fact that nobody had any immunity, which that's insane. That's absolutely insane. That cannot be scientifically true, and it's absolutely scientifically disproven. So don't tell me that nobody has any immunity to this. And of course, the lies, the lockdown, I mean, they're all based on that. All of it. The whole thing is based on nobody has any immunity. So that, it's probably not the biggest lie, but it's up there in maybe the top 5. So these guys selling Miracle Jab, well, they're telling you nobody's inherently immune. So, and then there's the hedging. Okay, it started at and there's the hedging and the moving of the goalposts. So we started at 15 days to stop the spread. We're on day 406, and we're continuing. We're continuing with moving forward with restrictions forever. And at first it was kind of like, well, you need one, but no, now you got to get 2 jabs. And now they're talking about booster shots. And now the vaccine cards have expiration dates. So it's kind of like we're being like moved. I mean, we're not being told like the whole picture here. And that's bad when you want to try to convince somebody to take a course of action where you keep stretching it out and you keep changing the factual landscape. That's not going to sell a product. I mean, it may sell you the first dose, but look at it this way. If somebody, let's pretend this is not a COVID vaccine. Let's pretend this is crack cocaine, okay? And someone says, yeah, you got to try this, and it's only once. I mean, you can take that. I'll even give you the first hit for free. But they don't tell you about the whole you're gonna be holding up a liquor store to support your habit. They're not gonna tell you about the heart attack you're gonna get in like 5-10 years. They don't tell you about all the lives and the relationships you're gonna ruin. If the initial drug dealer had told you that about crack cocaine, you might go, I know this is free, but I don't think I want it. So that's kind of a big turn off for me when it comes to the COVID jab. So of course we've seen, I don't even know how to describe this other than using the word bullshit. But we have seen a lot of bullshit sales tactics go on with the COVID vaccine. So one of the initial ones is like, everybody's get it. You want to be cool, you got to go get it. Oh my God, people are falling over each other to get it. They're rolling up their sleeves, and they make you feel like you're alone and not getting it. And that was never the truth. And now they've finally come out and said, oh boy, people aren't getting it. We're running out of people getting it. Now we have too many vaccines. And at first they were creating this artificial scarcity where it was like, oh no, you better get it now. Make your appointment now. It's going to run out. I mean, are you selling vaccines or are you selling cars? Like, this is shady car dealer tactics here. This is not a public health measure. And now we've gone through the shady tactics, and now we're in the coercive and fear tactics. So we're talking about removing religious exemptions. Now we're talking about COVID travel passports. I'm sorry, guys. This does not help you. Actually, if anything, this makes me less inclined to take it and adamantly and, if necessary, forcibly not take it. So this is the thing. When you start moving toward coercive means, it's no longer organized crime trying to get you to try crack for the first time. They're taking over your neighborhood. They're basically saying, well, we've got more guns than you, and you're stuck with it. So that's not nice, and I'm not happy about that. So the other thing, and this is the major reason I'm not taking the COVID vaccine, is you've got this thing called emergency use authorization, and the main criteria, there are 4 criteria, but the main criteria at issue here is there are no viable treatments and alternatives to deal with COVID-19. Well, that is not true. That is hands down false. Now, if you want the biggest piece of misinformation that is out there right now, it's that there's nothing that's going to help manage or deal with COVID-19. We know that's not true. I mean, we have enough people that have examined it, that have actually tested ivermectin. We know vitamin D is an issue. We know corticosteroids, depending on when you take them, that's helpful. And we know this is a dynamic condition that, different things will be helpful at different stages of the disease. So if we admit that, miracle jab goes away. And I think this is why they want to get as many people to take miracle jab as possible, because they want to basically make it so everyone can just forget that we killed 500,000 people to do this. Look, we made a public health call here, and that was to shout down and exclude and deny funding to any possibility of alternatives for treatments and interventions. So we killed 500,000 people, according to the screamers. I mean, I think it's probably closer to 200,000, but still, even if we killed one person, that's wrong. And I know you got these guys like, well, if it just saves one life, it's like, well, yeah, what if it saves one life and kills 500,000? That's bad. Like there's a net loss here. So I could talk about the missed cancer screenings. I could talk about how we screwed up the hospitals. I could talk about, the Medicare you're not going to have in very short order. We could talk about all the destructive damage, all the abuse to children, everything that happened to justify a miracle jab. We don't need to. That's in other videos on this channel. But one thing I will tell you, if that's what you're going to do to support a product, I'm sorry, dear screamers. The wokeness has a cost here. And I'm not gonna support your woke product, your virtue signaling product. So in a best case scenario, let's just say I have none of the side effects. Let's just say the vaccine works as you're selling it. And I'll get into the inconsistency here. The problem that you're dealing with is you have a product that you according to your own numbers that have questions, but let's just take them as true. According to your own numbers, your own product killed 500,000 people because we denied any other possibility of treatment, because we had to make the standard of care stay home and die to justify the emergency use for your product. That's sadistic. That's absolutely sadistic. So the people who went a little further and did it for power and did it for government money, there's a special place in hell for them, and they're totally going there now. So let's get into some of the misinformation. No, it does not alter your DNA. Okay, the thing is, to alter DNA, you have to get into the cytoplasm of the cell. This is messenger RNA. Calling it a vaccine is a bit of a misnomer, but no, it doesn't do that. It's messenger RNA does not get into the cytoplasm of the cell. However, they did alter the Federal Register to basically define immune modulation therapies as vaccine. Well, that's what it is. So the thing is, they changed the definition. Look, it's an immune modulation therapy. It's not a vaccine. I mean, except for, the ones that do involve attenuated SARS-CoV-2 virus. So let's just get that out of the way. And no, there's no microchip in the thing. As scary as that sounds, I think killing 500,000 people to justify your product is a lot scarier. And so that's kind of where I am in that. Does it cause sterility? Does it, cause miscarriages? Well, some people, I think it probably has. Other people, I don't know. But, the thing is, you only find out once. And I'm not on board with that. I think a lot of people that are vaccine hesitant, which I'm a little beyond that. I'm just like, if you want to kill 500 million people to justify a product, I'm not buying it. You put a gun to my head, pull the trigger, I'm not taking it. Give me that shot first. So you can't unpack that. You can't unscramble that egg. And I do have some questions. I can't find the answer to it. Maybe I will. Maybe I'm wrong. Where are the animal studies? That's kind of actually, more importantly, if we have the animal studies, where are the animals? What happened to them? That's kind of call it my need to know. So here's the deal. We have no real long-term safety numbers. And I know what people are going to say, and I know what even virologists have said this. They said, look, if you're going to have an adverse reaction, it's usually going to happen within 4 months. Well, okay, usually. Let's break down the difference between this scenario that we're dealing with and other vaccines. Every other vaccine up to this point has involved an attenuated version of the pathogen. Okay, that means weakened. That's what the word attenuate means. So your body gets an attenuated version of the pathogen. You take it, your body recognizes it, it fights it off. Okay, this is different. This is totally different. We're involving messenger RNA. We have what is essentially an experimental but now mass deployed immune modulation therapy. That's what it is. I should probably stop calling it a vaccine at this point because it's really not. So what it is it's telling the body, like, except for the ones that involve like SARS-CoV-2, it's telling the body, you see this spike protein over here, attack it, and that's what you're getting. You're not even getting SARS-CoV-2, which, there's good and there's bad to it, because the bad, when it happens, there's an autoimmune response that can happen. That's generally when your body just starts attacking your body. That's not good. So in terms of the long-term data, we just plain don't know if there's some sort of exponential function that's going to happen for that over time. So you're not in Kansas anymore, so to speak. You're not in like, oh, well, I got the polio vaccine. I can reasonably infer that I'm either going to get a reaction like very soon, if not within 4 months. Well, this ain't the polio vaccine, which I think is pretty cool. I'm not an anti-vax guy. What I am is, I'm an anti-fraudulent sale of a product guy. Like, what I am is, I don't believe in a product where you have to do more harm to bring it to market than it's going to prevent actually on the market. So here's where it kind of comes to the real what the fuck, so to speak. Everybody's saying this not everybody. Well, the people that are saying it's 95% effective, they're wearing their damn mask. They're saying we still want restrictions. We still want masks. It's like, you don't believe in your product then. That's just the way it is. So if you're trying to sell me a product that you don't believe in, and you're still screaming about my variants, and here's the thing about my variants. Viruses attenuate over time, because if they don't continue that relationship with the host, because you see the other host organisms kind of look at each other and go, yeah, Larry's looking pretty sick today. I think I'm going to stay the hell away from him. That's why Ebola it's really hard to spread Ebola for that reason. So here's the thing. The variants do not, there's no proof that they become more dangerous. Actually, if anything, the data is showing you and everybody else that has their eyes open that COVID's kind of becoming like, the new flu in the way. No, it's not the flu, and I'm not saying it's the flu, but the analogy here, it's just a ubiquitous disease. You get it, you get over it, and unless something really is going wrong with you that you set up over a long period of time, you're going to be fine. So here's the thing. I'm not taking this ever. I'm not vaccine hesitant. I'm militantly against this particular immune modulation therapy. That's it. So I'm tired of the mainstream media attempting to speak for me on this, and I'm probably even more tired of the fact that they haven't covered the whole emergency use authorization aspect of it. Because if they did, you'd be getting a big story, and there'd be a lot of people going to jail. And the reason you're not is because you wouldn't believe who's buying the airtime. So that's it. You wanna make me get to day 406 of a 15-day lockdown because you just, no. That's going to make me never take the vaccine. Ever. I'm sorry, that's going to make me never take the experimental immune modulation therapy ever. All right? So there you have it. And that leads to the religious exemption, because the religious exemption is not just my powerful God in the sky, whatever. He's going to be mad because it involves aborted fetal tissue, which no, it doesn't involve that. But the one thing I think God would reasonably ask is we don't go along with something that was based on lies and fraud and coercion because it's evil. I think that's pretty simple. And I think you should too. And I hope you're well. And please, if you found this useful, like it, share it, and get this out there. I mean, the emergency use authorization is the biggest. It's the biggest aspect of it. You want to know what killed so many people? It wasn't going to the restaurant or going to get a pizza. It wasn't going to the gym. It was not doing those things that killed people, among other things. So plenty of videos on that in this channel. Please subscribe, like them, watch them all. And until later, stay well, and I'm hoping for a happier, healthier, saner, and kinder 2021. And if you get this out there, we will get there. Until then, take care.